Guys, today I'm going to talk about something which is a bit off topic. You know, I, in my heart, do believe that India has the potential, that it can be a great nation again, that it can be a great country again. The point is, there's a difference between can and will. There is a great difference between can and will. A country which does not make peace with its own history can simply never make peace with the present to ever work towards the future. And it can be either way, but you would generally notice that some people cannot make peace with the past, so they make up stories of there being nukes and planes, flying planes in ancient India. Then there's another group of people like this who are so self-loathing, they come up with garbage like this. So I would like to play.
Let us remember
this is a professor, by the way.
That the Hindu right is the corollary of the idea that India is a Hindu majority population, and this is a false majority. The Hindu religion was invented in the early 20th century in order to hide the fact that the lower caste people are the real majority of India. In fact, religious minorities have been victims of this false majority, and Gandhi played a very significant role in its construction. He helped to let us remember victims of this false majority, and Gandhi played a very significant...
Alright guys, first of all, I'm not a very big Gandhi fan. I'm not a fan of Gandhi at all. But the thing is, here is one of those places where you have to jump in and say, yeah man, Gandhi was not the guy who created the idea of Hinduism. Right? The term Hinduism might be a very late invention, but the truth is, theologies or sister theologies existed in India which followed roughly the same canon. And these religions were followed across castes. Across castes, same deities were worshipped. And a simple reading of some historians like Huan Sang would do. When he was in India, Huan Sang was abducted by lower caste goons, dacoits, if you may. And guess what? Which deity these guys worshipped? These guys worshipped the same deity which the upper caste warriors would worship, and the deity for which the Brahmins would present the puja, as you would say it, for that deity, Durga. It was the deity Durga or Chandi, right? So these claims. So what do you even mean by religion? If by religion you mean a common deity which is worshipped, if by religion you mean a common theology or sister theologies, like let's say religions like Protestantism, like theologies like Protestantism, Catholicism, then yeah, the religion of Hinduism, as we call it now, it did exist. Just as Christianity is a religion with sister theologies, right? It did exist, but there was no name Hinduism for it. Of course there was no name Hinduism for it. The word Hindu itself is an exonym. It's an exonym for Indians. Quite literally, the word means Indian. Also, what's very interesting is Indian theologies, they have a weird sort of relationship among themselves. It's not the same kind of relationship which, for example, Protestants and Catholics would have. There's three major theologies, and there's many more, including some atheistic ones. In fact, the world's earliest atheistic school of thought was from India, the Charvaka philosophy. You can actually look it up. But the three major theistic groups were Shaivism, worshippers of Shiva, Vaishnavism, worshippers of Vishnu, and Brahmaism, not Brahmanism in that sense. And later on, something known as Brahmanism came to be, the supreme creator, the Brahman. The idea is, all of these gods actually have their own Puranas, the Vishnu Puran, the Shiva Puran, the Brahma Puran. But here's the funny thing. Unlike Christianity or Islam, which have fundamental disagreements with each other, these Purans don't completely disagree with each other. But in the Vishnu Puran, Vishnu is pushed a bit more than Shiva. Of course, it's named after him, and his ego is stroked a bit more than Shiva. And in the Shiva Puran, Shiva is considered superior to Vishnu, but by any means, Vishnu is not discredited as a false god. In terms of Abrahamic religions often call each other and other religions gods as false, But that doesn't happen with the various Purans in Hinduism. These people may be of different sects, but the Vishnu Puran does not call Shiva a false god. The Shiva Puran does not call Vishnu a false god, and neither does the Brahma Puran, and neither of these two call Brahma a false god. So there's a relative tolerance of other people while considering themselves to be more right. I remember a text, an engraving from a South Indian temple, and it describes the idea of God for Indians. It's to the Shaivites you are Shiva, to the Vaishnavites you are Vishnu, to the Buddhists you are Buddha, to the Jain you are Jinnah, and to the atheist you are the supreme truth. So neither of these ideas are considered inferior by themselves, but different interpretations. And Al-Biruni kind of noticed the same thing. Al-Biruni noticed the same thing about different castes. Now, the caste system cannot be defended, right? The caste system, yet I would make a video on it, why the caste system persisted for as long as it did. It was an efficient system. No system throughout history exists for as long as the caste system did if it did not work. And Al-Biruni noted that division, social division, and social isolation of different groups of working people is not common to India. It's not unique to India, rather. It's common to all groups of people.